It's the National Football League. It's Super Bowl Sunday.
The hype and the talk is over. We're set for the big one. Super Bowl 57. Away we go from Arizona. Taken from about the 12. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
Now Wilson on first down. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Coming up on 2nd and 7.
On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And this will go to Carson out wide.
And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
But I think that we all figured when he caught it that short of the marker that the defense almost relaxed and said, we've got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Fortunately, they got to him and forced the 4th down.
They'll run for it with Penny. What was going on there, but the end result, this is going to be a safety. Well, you talk about safety first. Gosh, for such a rare play, kind of unbelievable how many Super Bowls recently have begun with a safety. Charles, you had Tom Brady getting called for grounding against the Giants in Super Bowl 46.
Peyton Manning with the snap over his head in Super Bowl 48.
Yep, and now here's this one.
Oh, the return is Prochet. Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
And he's been sensational all season long, but he saved his best work for the playoffs, leading his guys to the AFC Championship a couple of weeks ago. And now he knows what lies ahead. He's going to need to play a near-perfect 4 quarters of football to get his guys to the finish line.
They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It was Jamal Adams up from his safety spot to make the play behind the line. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Now on 2nd and 13, Jackson.
They set up the screen for Dobbins.
Fights through and now a crease. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. So Charles, first drive here, little safe completion underneath, maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early.
And they run the option here on 1st and 10.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Call it a loss of 14 on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
And Brandon, as we continue to see, so much of the influence on this game is now coming from those hybrid-type players. In this case, strong safety, not worried about covering the pass. What a play on the run.
Tackled for a loss.
Yeah, forget the pregame introductions. He introduced himself with authority on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson, flush to his right. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A breakdown defensively there as the scramble is going to set him up with a much more manageable 3rd down. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. From the gun, Jackson.
That would complete to Prochet.
And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
They'll give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a 1st down for them, too.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now it's Jackson.
That's into the hands of Prochet. Options galore here. 2nd and a few inches. They go back to the ground with Dobbins. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Jackson from the shotgun. Open man is Duvernay.
And down inside the 15 he goes.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins.
And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. One of the best of the last decade or so, Bobby Wagner in to bring him down. 2 minutes on the clock in the 2nd quarter of this Super Bowl. Now on 2nd and 13, Jackson, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And they will get to him at the 7 and stop him short of the 1st down marker. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. With a 1st touchdown of this Super Bowl and a long one at that. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Justin Tucker for the extra point. Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early. So back them up 5, and it becomes a 37-yard extra point.
And it doesn't seem like a whole lot, does it? But every kicker I've talked to, they've been stressing about the PAT, the extra point, way more than kicking field goals.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And would you believe it? This is caught in the end zone. And the fake extra point works to extend their lead by 2.
Weaver now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is DJ Reed returning. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Second and 10. Now Wilson. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard.
Well, he made that catch knowing full well that at the end of it, he's going to catch a pretty good lick.
I guess if there's anyone on this team that can absorb a pop, it's him. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third. They'll try the left side. Carson. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was third and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you should have a few men in the box, though. And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. Well, Charles, you're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
So we've come upon halftime in the big one, the Super Bowl. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome everybody to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you gotta expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. The Raven offense set to start this third quarter. And I would imagine this is where you have to take stock of the situation, CD, and say, gosh, we're halfway to the Lombardi Trophy. Let's not slow down now.
And I like the way you went there. Let's not slow down now, because the first half certainly went their way. And I would expect them to continue with that type of a game plan. But you're right. You do think back to Super Bowl 54. 49ers had a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter, couldn't hold on, so plenty can still happen.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed, and he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Not the way you envision things to start out the third quarter. One play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the second half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script did it have that result.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
But whenever you call and run the hitch route, a lot of times that ball's got to be in the air before the receiver even turns around. That's the result of throwing it so many times in practice. Is really a timing route. Make sure that ball's out of your hands, and oftentimes the receiver turns around, and there's the ball. Nice completion there.
On first down, Wilson. I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Throwing again here, Wilson. He gets it to his running back, Rashad Penny. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the one. A big play that time on the catch and run.
You have to ask the question, where was the help? Because it's a little surprising to me that he'd find that much room to run this close to the end zone. He doesn't quite get there, but he sets his guys up with a 1st and goal.
And this one too low.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Some bad Super Bowl memories certainly surfacing for the Seahawks. Another pick thrown from the 1-yard line.
If we weren't both here together, there's no way you could convince me that they did that this was going to happen again. Same spot and another interception.
And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right, you look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll go option to the short side. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. Give him 9 there. They still need 6 more now on 3rd down. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you stop the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
A quick throw here out to Brown. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. One quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second and 11 at the 41. Jackson.
eluding the pressure right. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play there on the keeper.
Oh, Lamar Jackson just so electric, Charles, when he gets into open space, and we saw Exhibit A right there.
You know something? I'm standing up here in the booth next to you watching the play. He buckled my ankles on that one as well. It doesn't matter whether you're actually on the field trying to chase him or you're just watching him play. This guy is sheer excitement.
And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end, Andrews. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Throwing is Jackson. Forced out to his left. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line.
That I'm struggling to understand a little bit. That close to the goal line, 1st down, run the football. If you want to throw it, throw some play action on 2nd down.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Now it's Jackson.
Open man Watkins, touchdown Baltimore.
4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Ravens are feeling good as they extend their lead in this Super Bowl.
Well, I've heard you use the term put-away drive, and that right there seemed like the definition of a put-away drive.
Yeah, it certainly just pops right up out of the book, doesn't it? Because up 2 scores already, just wanted to possess the football, keep converting and picking up 1st downs. And if the drive ends in 3 points, that's terrific. If it ends in a touchdown, fantastic.
So the Ravens will keep the offense on the field as they're going to go for 2. Jackson here, he's going to look to throw. Steps away to his left. And it's incomplete, but a flag is down here, so hang on. Let's see what we've got. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical. Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout. And all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Being chased out left. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. This one caught by his tight end, Andrews.
And he will be taken down, but a big play there as it comes just as we reach the 2-minute warning.
A big play that time through the air. 32 yards. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. first down and more for Jackson. Past the 20 and down to the 19-yard line. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. So not quite a 1st and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches. Escaping the pressure right. And that'll be caught. Touchdown Ravens. It's Hollywood Brown. A 9-yard touchdown there. And the Ravens are starting to pour it on the game's biggest stage. They are running away with this Super Bowl. Justin Tucker for the extra point. Flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. He's got it at the 10. And he gets in. And no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. And that's something you almost never see nowadays. When you fake it, you're at the 15-yard line on a PAT as opposed to just going for it from the 2.
I'm sorry. I know they got it, and congratulations to them. But it's just not a good play. I mean, the risk-reward is really off the charts, not in your favor. Run your offense out there. Put it on the 2-yard line if you want to go for 2. But I'll be darned. They ended up getting that one, didn't they?
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And he finds Penny. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. That's caught by Penny. Touchdown! Rashad Penny. 27 yards. And the Seahawks are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Wilson going to throw for it. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion. Caught in the end zone. And that cuts the lead a bit further. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
And he's only going to get this to the 4-yard line.
Well, not exactly a banner return, so he doesn't give his offense a whole lot of room to work with. They've got to go a long way now to try and score some points. I do know this from experience. There will be a few comments muttered his way by the offense as they head out on the field.
Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. And this is caught. It's Brown. He's at the 50. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's a gain of 35. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. On 2nd and 10, Jackson, he's going deep for Brown. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
And it's all over. Just one is left standing, and that one is the Baltimore Ravens, your Super Bowl champions.